So MJF is like looking forward to your thoughts on Dustin's demise this Wednesday on TBS. And MJF went off on Jimmy Korderas, completely had a cringe meltdown. I think it's in the Sicko segment. But yeah, they're doing Dustin Rhodes versus MJF. Okay. Here's my thoughts on it. All of Tony Khan's faces. So here it is. It's not in the Sicko segment. So check this out. Like, speaking of MJF, he just has a stage 5 melty on Jimmy Korderas. Jimmy Korderas tweets out, "Oh, did he delete it? Jimmy, don't delete it. It's because all these sickos attack him." Oh, good. Thank God it's not deleted. All these people jump on Jimmy all the time and call him a grifter. Then MJF calls him a grifter. A grifter, bro. Now listen to this. So Jimmy Korderas tweets out, "Great job, MJF, of reminding your audience about the man who is on top in the other company," alluding to, he's having a promo battle with Dustin, and he brings up Cody Rhodes. So MJF goes, "His brother, my mentor, a guy who helped shape me early on in my career. Your old boss brainwashed you into believing we need to treat the fans like morons and pretend other wrestling companies don't exist. You dumb, ignorant, bald grifting. Respectfully. Here's the problem, though, MJF, and why you're a dumbass. Because your boss, I think I wrote it down here. Yeah, I responded, and I got, look at that, 9K, 146 likes, didn't even get ratioed under his own. And I go, bro, your boss has convinced a bunch of empty-headed dumps that Dustin's brother and your mentor, who shaped you early on, is the world champion of the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling. And you shout them out every second promo. Also, it's all anyone says to Dustin. It's unoriginal and trite. Bickety bat cooked by Phil Marks, buddy. What's up?" And that's what I said, dude, because it need to be said. And I don't care if I get blocked for that. It's just like, dude, and usually I don't even go at wrestlers like that. You guys see it. I just read what they say. You don't see me under there. You don't see the phantom bookmarks unbooking and bookmarking it innumerable times, all scary like that on the right side of the screen. You don't see that every day. I didn't even bookmark it myself, I don't think. But it's so cringe to then call, also, you bald grifting MJF. Kanicki wants his hair back, brother. The 50s call. Bro, those Cabbage Patch hair plugs, like, come on, dude. What are you talking about, man? It's just so disrespectful to people who came before. Even though I get it, Jimmy Korderas goes hard and he's just always burying AEW, right? But for instance, like, if Jimmy Korderas was grifting, he would come on PWT and try and shill it. 100%. He'd have done it already. You know what I mean? And he does his ref and rants, and that's about it, right? He's a legend. I used to watch this guy in Sportsnet giving his takes on wrestling, where I'm like, Jimmy's the only guy who gets it. You know what I mean? He's sitting there on the panel, and Jackie Redmond back in the day and stuff too. And it was like, this guy gets it still. He's a legend ref, in my opinion. Korderas is one of the memorable ones. We can name a bunch of them. Little Nate, Nick Patrick, Earl Hebner. Korderas is one of them for me. Maybe it's because I'm Canadian. I don't know. But to call him a grifter, what's the grift, man? What's the grift? Is he making money? Like, where's he making money off of this, bro? Everyone just throws words around. You see people say, like, delusions of grandeur on X. They don't even know what that means, right? You see people throwing gaslight around, or straw man, or grifter, all these buzzwords. No one even knows what they mean, okay? I'm going to Google it right now. We'll just give you the grifter definition. A person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. What is Jimmy Korderas? Where's the small-scale swindling? What does he gain? Is WWE Shop selling Jimmy Korderas t-shirts, like Aubrey Edwards shirts on AEW? Where's the grift, bruv? That's what's so silly, right? And so Jimmy Korderas responds, and I thought my response was solid too. Like, bro, your boss calls them Harvey Weinstein, and then you're putting them over every promo, and you're like, this guy was my mentor and this and this and that. Literally said that Dustin's brother is the world champ of Weinstein land. And you're going to sit here and cope like that when he says, way to put over the other champion, my mentor, the guy that blah, blah, blah. You don't get it, though, MJF. You don't get how people perceive this. I could really go off on this guy, right? And MJF also doesn't understand this. The perception of you is not good right now, bro. Hey, MJF, did you punch a locker room wall? Were you in the girls' bathroom this time when you punched the wall like an old 80s movie? Oh, this time when you got mad at Korderas? You know what I mean? Like, do we got to go there, bro? And like, I'm just sticking up for Korderas because it's like he did this to Lufisto, right? Meanwhile, Lufisto was right the whole time about everything she said. Okay? He did this to her as well. And it's one thing to be like, yeah, I'm glad Hogan got booed, whatever, and then give a professional answer. It's a whole other thing to just accuse every person who came before you in the business of being a grifter because it's cool to hate on AEW. I wish it wasn't right now, dude. I wish it wasn't. All of these takes are getting cold and trite. Everything. It's like repetitive nonsense at this point. I get it too. But then like this happens and we can't help but go, bro, you guys dropped this shirt. How like unaware, and it's all wrinkled in the picture. What are you doing? You're going off on Korderas about a small criticism. This is the problem. They go after these people who are vets. Like Lufisto's a vet in the business. You go after her. There's some younger people who are dumbest on this app that we encounter all the time and we cover in our sicko segment. They'll attack Korderas. Well, he's attacking us. He's attacking me. Do you feel attacked about the criticism, bro? About you, about a fair criticism to where he didn't go, oh, you balding idiot steroid using who punches girls' bathroom locker room walls and scares females, and so you have to apologize to everyone? Did he go there? Like, it's crazy. Why the f you got to go there? So stupid, man. Especially when he's like, good job shouting out the other company's champion. The criticism, MJF, is that everyone does that. Okay, even this whole legend killer thing you're doing right now. Jeff Jarrett and then Dustin and then who's next, right? I'm surprised you didn't retire Daniels for sakes. I'm surprised they didn't think of that. Actually, we'll time cop it. We'll do time cop. Phil, that's a great idea. It's great. We'll time cop. And then we'll actually do that. Hologram. We'll transport us back to 2 Saturdays ago. And MJF will be dead. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's just weird. I'm sorry. I don't mean to go off. I'm a grump today, though. I'm in a bad mood. So Jimmy Korderas goes, thank you for your eloquent reply. Still being like, chill, man. Not even being gross. Max is doing this gross thing. And then the sicko dumps go, he's our scumbag. And then nobody gets over because you're supposed to be a heel, but they're cheering you. And they're down with this. Anyways, so Jimmy says, thank you for your eloquent reply. By the way, Maxwell, I learned from veterans of the locker room, many of them your peers. So he's telling them, dude, I learned from veterans. We didn't have Twitter back then. I'm a veteran. Maybe listen to me. I learned from veterans of the locker room, many of them your peers, including Cody, Eddie, Taker, HBK, Cope, etc. Enjoy our little chat. Have a wonderful night. And then Maxwell responds, great. You want me to name everyone I've rubbed shoulders with? Max.
You what?
Max.
You mark.
Max, I know you're in Happy Gilmore too, bro. But listen, man. Korderas was responsible for like calling the finishes of these matches. He was in there when real happened and stuff in an era where everyone was more over than you'll ever be in this business. And you're just like, oh, rubbed shoulders. Like he didn't ride up and down the roads, plane ride from hells with these. I'm not saying, I don't know if he was on it, but come on. He was in. You think he hasn't seen Vince take a clothesline in a bar? I, again, don't know that for sure. But listen, man, like, was he even the greatest ref of all time? No, but a dude who did analyze too. This is what I got to stress to you guys. He did analyze on Sportsnet for a long time. It's not like this is his first time. Oh, he's just grifting, jumping on the hot take train. No, he started using Twitter more. Everyone discovers it at a different time, MJF, Jesus Christ. But he goes, all those men you named are some of the all-time greats. Doubt they would waste their time spewing absolute nonsense. Hey, MJF, doubt they would waste their time. THEIR. There, and there. Again, you're talking and you look dumb doing it. Doubt they would waste their time. You mean THEIR, grammar police Phil? Grammar spell check Phil over here? Because that's what you forced me to do because you're going low and you're going at low-hanging fruit, right? When you would have the same haircut as Korderas if you didn't go to Spain or wherever you went to get the... right? Tony didn't send you on a private plane to Germany or wherever they put that on your head. You've had a hell of a career. Just stop grifting. Well, what's the grift? Define grift. Oh, wait, I just did it for you. What do you mean, the grift? What are you talking about? What is he grifting? I don't even understand. Jimmy Korderas doesn't even have a blue check. He's not even monetized for talking MJF on Twitter. Where's the grift? How is it grifting to talk and be honest about something to where people conceive it as talking and to where you won't get a job with the money mark who's handing out paychecks? When if Korderas went there and was like, yeah, let's stick it to the Fed, Tony would hire him as a ref in 1 second. Where's the grift? Grifting is like small, petty scam. What's the Tony Khan's way easier to scam? Where's the grift in that? It's grifting to like blow Tony Khan and be like, oh yeah, everything's great over here and this is amazing, and patting him on the back when it is not all right. At least as far as the level of him and Dave Meltzer and everybody talked, and you're talking, you don't even stack up to TNA MLW, bud. Might as well have stayed in MLW. At least you'd be in the ID program or something right now. So where's the grift? You've had a hell of a career. Just stop grifting. Grifting what? Himself out of money by poking at the guy who's handing out money? You're just off, bro. Your butt hurt over his comments. Someone's telling y'all don't take criticism. They're all just old grifters, man. Don't listen to the old grifters. It's just cool to hate on AEW. We're actually killing it, bro. That's called coping, and that's grifting. Because you guys are patting Tony on the back, and you're all clicking up, and you're not going, we need to get a ship that's headed in one direction, and you're all just telling him it's all right to get the check, dude. You're telling him it's all good so you get time off so you can go be in Adam Sandler movies. And that's fine. You know, don't go there, man. Ridiculous. I just went off on MJF. I'm a big fan of his too. That's the problem. I'm a big fan of that guy. So Jim Ross again, he told, and we got Jim Ross news here, Jim Cornette news here. This is other hilarious stuff that people know if you follow Tony Khan. He's given interviews where he said, oh, I listen to Jim Cornette and about what to do, and I listen to all the old, I study. Him and Dave we're study buddies. And so Jim Ross told Kenny MCITR, shout him out last week, that Cornette is a brilliant guy, King. I'm sorry he had so many demands in his contract. So he revealed that Jim Cornette had a bunch of demands in his contract. So he's refuting the fact that, you know, what Jim Cornette said, oh, if you do it with these guys, I'm not going to do it, right? He's refuting that and saying, no, Cornette had so many demands that he didn't sign with AEW and book the shows. He was going to be the booker, for Christ's sakes. He didn't want to travel. He didn't want to sit on a plane. If I owned a territory, I'd do all I can to hire him. So there you go. Apparently he had too much demands. He wanted to work from home. And I mean, I get it, but at the same time, well, why don't you just hire him and consult him? Why couldn't you have done that? Yeah, if Jim Ross even finishes it by saying, if I owned a territory, I'd do all I can to hire him. Exactly. Like, have him on as a consultant. But I'm leaning more Jim's way. This is all believable, but I don't think it's too many demands. I think it is legit. I bet you Tony would have let him work from home. He let Ace Steel work from home and produce the shows from home, bro. He let him literally do that. So I think it did boil down to Cornette going, well, we can't do it with these guys. I won't do it with these guys.
Thank you, bye, boom.
That's my belief. This spurned off of as well. Jimmy Jacobs says he and Tony Khan would spend hours driving to shows, talking wrestling, Khan's vision for AEW, and listening to Jim Cornette podcasts. And Jimmy says we would drive for hours from one show to the next. And Tony Khan would always be there talking about wrestling and his vision for AEW and just soaking in everything. It was a chance to really bond over the things that matter, like how we want to shape the future of wrestling. Tony and I would listen to Jim Cornette's podcast during those drives, and it became a thing. Sometimes we'd agree, sometimes we disagree. But what was most important was the passion behind what Cornette said. It was always about respecting the history of wrestling and understanding what makes the business work. So what happened to where they lost the plot on this? What happened to where this isn't the case anymore? And Tony Khan is not doing what's best for the business. What happened where he stopped listening to Cornette? People got in his ear, and that's all it is. And I'll just leave it to that. And Cody left. Cody Rhodes, when he left, booking all went to, and you saw it start to go to near the end there. And Cody was doing all that crazy, and they're saying the Cody vortex, and the crowd's booing him. And well, we saw what happened. So the Young Bucks has blocked me. We covered that on the last show. Okay. A little update. I'm going to save that in there. A little trophy. No, when people block me, I'm not like, I own them. That's cringe too, but I just I think it's funny. I respond to MJF again. I quote tweet this and I go, when he does this, this is actually before I responded to it, right? And the only reason I screen grabbed is because I wanted to get the whole context in for this quote tweet. And I go, when he does this, it always backfires, LOL. 80% of everything MJF has done in AEW is callbacks to WWE. Even this whole Legend Killer tour he's doing. His boss has brainwashed a bunch of empty-headed dumb that his mentor who shaped him early works for the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling. And that's why it comes across cringe as something to think about. So there you go. I don't know. I went off on MJF. I love you again, bro. Bandito in-ring return set for Collision. Apparently he blew his knee out again. Speedy recovery. We love you, bud. And good luck. You're stuck there for a grip now. Dynamite ratings on TBS were essentially the same as last week. Dynamite averaged 605K viewers. No change. With a 0.17 in the key demo. No change per Programming Insider. It was the number 5 show on cable. Of course, Meltzer would go, it was number 2 behind everything besides news. It's like, well, there's like 5 different news shows on tonight. Well, it doesn't matter because it's all news.
Guys, Tony Khan.
As always, these numbers do not include the Max simulcast. PWI is claiming it does. That it does include Max when they're saying these numbers. Year over year, Dynamite was down 25%, and the rating was down 39%. So people like trying to clown WWE for their decline in Raw viewership, and it's like, and I know it's not to make a whataboutism, but the AEW sickos you see doing that, it's like, no. Look at what's going on here, Jesus Christ, this won't remove from bookmarks, pissing me off.